My name is Joe Moon. I'm from A Scar for the Wicked, and you are listening to the Brutally Delicious podcast.
The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast.
70,000 tons of metal.
The original, the world's biggest heavy metal cruise. 60 bands, 4 days, one cruise ship, only 3,000 tickets.
From Miami, Florida to Ocho Rios, Jamaica.
January 30th to February 3rd, 2025. 5 days and 4 nights mingling side by side with your favorite artists in this incredible fan-friendly scenario that has no comparison.
Go to 70,000tons.com and book your ticket
now.
But apparently not.
Yeah, no worries at all.
Sneaking away from work to do it.
Oh, sorry. You want to reschedule? Is that easier?
No. It's all good.
All right, cool. Well, I won't keep you too long then. Thank you for jumping in. I guess let's start right away then. Scar for the Wicked. Or A Scar for the Wicked. This record is so brutally heavy. Let's start off with, what are you so angry about?
I don't know if it's a level of anger. We as a band have never really, we don't talk about politics or, religion per se or anything that, these typically angry bands would talk about. We like to tell stories with our music, and we like to use the melodic death metal genre as our platform to tell the stories. Our album this go around is about acolytes. It's about followers. It's a rough kind of, each song traverses through the 9 circles of hell. Think like Dante's Inferno type storytelling. So it's just hell is an evil place, and it's angry to begin with. So
So do they progressively? I haven't heard the whole record yet. Do they progressively get heavier and darker? Because that's how Dante's kind of proceeds, right?
Yeah, I mean, we like to travel between genres a little bit in regards to, some songs are a little bit more brutal, some songs are a little bit more technical, some songs are a little bit more blackened, and we've definitely chosen the themes of the song musically to go with it lyrically as well. So I don't necessarily think that it progressively gets heavier, but each song has its own kind of feeling and theme to it, whether it be more technical and heavy hitting if you're talking about death or suicide, compared to, say, sins like lust or gluttony.
Right. Is there something you want your fans to take away, like an overarching message after listening to, I'm going to try and pronounce this, is it Acolythus?
Acolythus?
Acolythus, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, no, not really. There is no hidden messages. There's nothing that we're trying to portray to people. It's really just the story of a follower. That's it. And it's to art is in the eye of the beholder, and I hope that everybody that listens to it traverses on their own experience with it.
Okay. I mean, I know you said you're not political, not religious, not whatever, but it definitely is very timely these days, right? I mean, just listening through the record, listening to or reading the titles, very timely and running parallel to like the world we live in at the moment. That was not planned, or that just seeped over, you think?
No, I think that our vocalist Andre lives in 2024. He lives in the world that we're talking about, and obviously it plays a role in his lyrical writing and his experiences and our experiences as a whole. And I think that the world is not a very nice place right now, and the music really reflects that, and lyrically and musically.
Right. And I think it's funny you said that, because I think, well, and not that I think, I know, like the 60s, all the turmoil was reflected in their music, right? And then the 70s, you had all the turmoil reflected in the music of the 70s. And I think that's what you're seeing now. Like the music that's coming out is in direct response to the turmoil around us. And I guess you can't help but be influenced by it.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard not to be influenced by the place that you live in, or the surroundings that you have. Unfortunately, we live in a world where war and tyranny and poverty. It's just there's a lot of bad stuff, and in the world of metal, unfortunately, we talk about a lot of the negative things in life, and it just so happens that right now there is a lot of negativity in the world, and that is just fuel for lyrics.
Yeah, and I think though that at the end of the day, what makes it a little bit different, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, is this kind of music or heavy music in general is sort of cathartic. While it is negative or whatever dark, it's very cathartic as well, right? Because you're getting that shit out of your soul and out there, and not necessarily saying everything is fucked, but kind of we're all in together sort of thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of facing your demons head on, and like you said, putting them out in the open and getting it off of your chest, and that's a weight lifted. And hopefully, listeners can feel that and join in on that feeling of just letting go of the negativity in the world and just enjoy some good death metal and let the death metal speak for you.
Right. That's beautiful. What do you guys have planned to take this live? You guys got live plans?
Yeah, we got a couple of shows booked in September, October around the Ottawa, Toronto area. We're planning a CD release party for November 7th when the album drops. And yeah, I think we're just going to kind of ride the tails throughout the summer, try and book as much as we can out of town, play as much as we can. And, we're already writing the next record and kind of we have a lot of content for this record, so we've really decided to kind of dive deep into the content. So almost every song has a piece of content to come out with it, whether it's a playthrough or a lyric video or
Oh,
music,
nice.
something visual to go with it. We live in a visual age, and I run a production company for my day job, and so we just utilized my skill set and a couple other guys in the band skill set to bring a bunch of cool visuals to the table, like the music video for Acolythus. Yeah, so we're playing, but again, for this run with the album, we really decided to push the visual content and just the online focus of building up our Spotify listenership, our YouTube. It's the way of the world nowadays. You want to tour, you want to get signed and stuff like that. Those numbers matter. So we put a lot of heart and soul and blood, sweat, and tears into this album. We spent a lot of money, and we're just doing everything we can to back it as best as we can.
Right. I mean, it's difficult because it's a DIY sort of thing because there's not that much money in underground metal, but it's great that you're still doing it. Do you guys all write together as well? And are you guys doing everything together, or is it more the efforts of yourself or somebody else?
So it's a team effort in a sense. Adam Semler, our lead guitar player, he is our main songwriter. He brings a lot of ideas to the table, and me being an audio engineer, we bring them into the studio, and him and I will hash them out, finalizing bass lines and guitar riffs and stuff like that. And and then we offload everything to the drummer and the singer, and they put in their parts. And then away we go. So the initial songwriting falls on Adam and Andre, our vocalists. But I think the song doesn't really come together until we all get to sink our teeth into it and have our say,
Are you ever in the same room doing that sort of thing, or are you taking advantage of technology and bouncing it all back and forth?
Um, well, we do a lot of rough demo stuff in like Guitar Pro, which we can share back and forth to each other, and just to hear rough ideas. But typically, we're all in the same room when we're chopping out demos and coming up with ideas and how do we bridge this riff to this riff and so on and so forth.
Right. Okay. And what do you have planned then next? What's the I know you said you got a couple hometown shows or in the area. What's the game plan the rest of the fall?
Release content. It's just like I said, I think we're on a 3-week plan for the next 5 months to release a song every 3 weeks until the album is out, November 7th. We've got a piece of content with each one. We're going to be releasing some new merch designs and the full album artwork and some pre-order stuff very soon. Probably come out with our next release, which will be August 22nd, which, depending on when this interview airs, the teaser that may already be out. So you guys can look for that. That is the next song that's being released is definitely one of my favorites. It's very technical. It's very heavy. It's probably our closest ode to like traditional deathcore that you would hear today, American deathcore. And yeah, that's kind of the plan. Just release, book shows when we can. We're all very busy guys running. I run my own company. Our lead guitar player also runs his own company. Our bass player owns a restaurant. So, life gets in the way sometimes, but we're booking as often as we can and just trying to make this release as badass as possible.
Nice. And then you've got plenty of time to hype it up too. So if fans want to find you guys, where do they do so?
You can find us on Facebook at Scar for the Wicked. You can find us on Instagram, Spotify, Bandcamp, all the normal social stuff. We're on everything. We just started a TikTok because that's a thing. So you can find us on TikTok now. And everywhere you can find everything.
Man, I do really like the record. I was jamming it before I was getting prepped for it early. It's so heavy and so much of a nod back to a lot of the bands like I grew up listening to, like Trevor's band. What was it?
Black Dahlia Murder.
Black Dahlia. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, we are all very big fans of Black Dahlia Murder. We're fans of like black metal, like Old Man's Child and Dimmu Borgir, and
Yeah.
like hybrid the two of technical death metal meets like blackened death metal.
Yeah, and it comes across because I definitely would listen to it. It's super chaotic and super heavy, but I dig it. So nice job.
Fantastic.
But
Do you have the whole album?
I do have the whole album. I have not listened to it yet.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
I've listened to bits and pieces as we're preparing for this.
Fantastic. That's a great record. My two favorite songs on that record would be Sacrificial Genocide and oh my God, I can't remember the names of my own songs all of a sudden.
I'm looking at the list. Into a Coalescent Damnation.
Nope, keep going.
Sons of Dawn or Son of Dawn.
Son of Dawn is great if you like technical death metal. It's very technical.
Despicable Existence.
Despicable Existence is the next single that's coming out, and it is fantastic.
And Drowning Gluttony.
Drowned in Gluttony, yeah. So Drowned in Gluttony and Sacrificial Genocide are my two favorite songs on the album. Definitely check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, man, I thank you for taking the time. I appreciate it.
Hey, man, thanks for having me. I appreciate you. I'm sorry I was a little bit late for you.
No, life happens, like you said. So we're all good. Everything's great. We got it done. Be well. Have a good
All
day, my
right.
friend. Cheers. All right, bye.